Our biggest one's Walmart.
Oh shit.
And so I got the designs, some like animations and shit for them for this new app they're coming out with, which was, I mean, pretty dope. They're one of like 3 production companies in the world that Walmart uses. So that's what kind of like sold me on them. I was like, all right, they're the real deal, you know?
Yeah.
But they do everything from like, you know, local businesses in the area to whole, like, if you know what Queen Creek is, some days it's super boring, and other days you get some exciting shit like this.
Yeah.
And just roll with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What about you? Who you?
Just kind of I have a studio in Lake Havasu City.
Okay.
And then I have like a business partner, so
Right on.
we just kind of like linked up and we ran together for like a year and a half doing just different. We were doing like smaller TV series.
Sweet.
And then with COVID, everything's kind of.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're ready to rock it today. The day is going to be awesome, but we got more racing tomorrow. So, Mark, what do we got going on the racers out here?
Well, we're going to start off with the Turbo UTVs out here for qualifying, so that way they're going to shuffle around and get their starting position. Now, this qualifying is very important to do for these racers, as this determines where they start. They have the clean air, so if they start up front and qualify great, they're going to promise a good race day. The $100,000 up for grabs in the 6100 class. This is
huge,
amazing coming out here. Guaranteed $10,000 to the winner in the 6100 class. We got 25 pre-entries already, and the number's growing, so it's going to be really exciting.
Money does definitely draw the racers, doesn't it? And I tell you what, if you could draw back and look at what we're looking at, the weather is pristine. It's not going to make these vehicles run in the overheat because they run better in the cold, these turbos especially. And I tell you what, the track is fast. There's going to be some crazy racing going on. What about some of these guys that rode with us out in Utah? They're going to be out here now chasing this money, right, Mark?
Absolutely. Justin Welch out here, Colton Houston, as you saw last year. Houston out here in that car that he started with. Corey Sappington, he's a champion as well out here in the Turbo UTV class. The 6100 class, Adam Householder come out here to play with 6100, and a lot of the guys from a lot of the other racing organizations now coming here to choose their year with Legacy Racing. So that's very important. You can see Brent Fox returning, John Walton chasing Gone out here, and Travis Williams bringing the Diamondback construction, that $100,000.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
That was a very big deal. And, you know, I tell you what, like I said, the money brings the racers, but these guys at Legacy, they have put their homework in. They have done a great job out here. This track is fast, safe, and fun, and you can actually get to spectate quite a bit more than you normally can. And you know what? We don't just want racers. We want spectators. We want everybody to come down and see what we're doing. We want this to grow. You know, it's all about family stuff, and this is family fun, Mark. So what else?
Well, family's awesome. We got a long list of sponsors to get over. Man, Hurling Racing bringing you the live feed. Hurling Racing with Joey and Jerry. It's going to be very exciting to see how they do in the 6100 class as they campaign for that $100,000. But it looks like we're getting ready to go racing. So
yeah, we got about 1 more minute, Mark. So real quick, shoot down what names you can, real quick.
Let's talk about 4-Wheel Parts. This is the 4-Wheel Parts Desert Showdown. So they're the official aftermarket supplier. Rugged Radios, we couldn't do it without them as well. Liquid Moly, as you see the Liquid Moly starting line. Vision Canopy doing great. All-terrain concepts. Sea Devil, if you've never seen those Sea Devils, these lights are incredible. Tuba Art Films and Turn 2 TV Productions out here. Motorsports Safety Solutions as well. The safety team, Quantum Motorsports, the Turbo Class partners. We talked about Diamondback Materials, 6100 class. Yep. That's a big deal, man. And can't say enough about the hurling.
A lot of tongue twisters in there, guys. A lot of tongue twisters, but I tell you what, it's going to be a lot of fun racing out here. These guys are ready to go at it. So here we are. We've got about 10 seconds left to go. If you want to take a pan actor, here we are. They are off and running. Get ready for qualifying, guys. catch anything.
Need to go to channel 2 or both channels on your mic.
Yeah, don't kill it right at the end. Just keep that up.
Got
Keep
it.
that
Okay.
high.
I just didn't want to get any negative verbal.
Paul at the Paul. I sense a video.
Well, it's not even us.
Yeah,
No
mine's
running
you
in the
right
pits.
now. Let me just.
Hey, that was good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was awesome. Always. I won't bug you with it.
No, you're good.
That's pretty uneventful turn.
Woo, that is smooth as silk right there, boy.
You guys have the lineup of where they're going off?
Lineup, no. No, I do not.
Mark, do you have the lineup of where they're going off?
Do we have a lineup how they're going off? Shit.
We're good. No, that's good.
This is only the second one of these I've ever done. I'm not huge into the racing. Yeah, I mean it's badass.
Jason, are you with me all day again?
I don't know who I am with.
Oh, I'm in the studio.
I got time to go switch hats, right? That's the kid right there.
off with the mic too.
Racing's racing. Sometimes you finish, sometimes you don't, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. It is what it is.
But hey, you made the finish line.
Heck yeah, that's all that matters, man. Thank you.
Fastest growing segment for probably the last 10 years. This guy has been one of the leaders in that industry.
What these cars could do now is just really, really amazing. People want to go fast and not brake, and that's where we teamed up with Liquid Moly. Horsepower, ability, and the maximum protection.
Extreme pressures and a lot of heat. We not only have an oil to suit those, but also an additive to protect the turbo systems. One of those products is going to be our MOS2, a solid lubricant that goes inside the motor. It puts a load-bearing film inside the engine and protects not only your turbo, but all the moves inside the motor. afraid of losing your warranty, we have all the latest specifications. Dive into your service manual, look up the actual viscosity that it calls for, jump over to the Liquid Moly website, find the same matching product for your application, good to go.
Of working in off-road, we got asked by a sand drag group in 2008 to start following their entire racing series, and that's when we decided to start Motorsports Safety Solutions. So when we first started in 2008, we had 6 people who were pretty much dedicated to following the different races that we did. We're well over 60 active members right now that help. Sometimes they're there for 2 to 3 races throughout the year. Some of them are there almost every single weekend. Different expenses we come across, fuel is obviously a big one, hotel accommodations. If you're taking 40 people to a race to help people, there's 40 beds, you've got to find a place for people to sleep. So hotels, medical equipment, extrication gear. Our team has been extremely fortunate over the last several years to have great financial donors who have helped us step up. The off-road community has built this truck, they've built another one matching it. They've helped equip 6 other rescue trucks with everything from suspension to rescue tools, firefighting capabilities. We've got UTVs, we have motorcycles, we've got a trailer to cool people down, act as a first aid station. The off-road community is what has 100% made this possible for us to be as successful and have the great equipment that we have.
Sounds good. Just checking. Okay, right on. Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Grab a gear in the spring at WP with deals on tires, tops, accessories, and more. Take advantage of huge savings on BF Goodrich, Mickey Thompson, Falcon, and Goodyear. Transform your truck and save big with up to $750 back on select lift packages and save up to $200 on select soft tops. Grab a gear in the spring and do your rig right at 4 Wheel Parts.
especially when you're out like this part in the desert. There's no green here. Rocks. I mean, it really just depends where in the desert you're on. So like we're far in the desert, you know, you're not gonna see anything. But I like it, especially Arizona.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still haven't gotten used to it.
Yeah.
Take your new rig from this to this and get it ready for this. Bring it to the experts at 4 Wheel Parts, where we'll transform your Bronco with the all-new line of 4WP factory accessories. Whether you want to order the best parts online, shop in store, do the work yourself, or have it built by a pro, all trails lead to the truck, Jeep, or Bronco of your dreams, because nobody knows off-road like 4 Wheel Parts. Do your Bronco right.
But there's so many that like when you're driving, you feel like you feel that you're like, no. So I mean, it is weird when you're inside the house and shit starts shaking.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you're like,
that'd be a little trippy for sure.
But it's probably not as bad as you like get out of a tornado or something.
Oh yeah, tornadoes. That's some scary shit.
Yeah.
Like when that's it's following, it's coming for you. The earthquake,
I'm like, okay. Like when I lived in the desert, we had a space like this. I was like, the one time we had one start shaking, I was going outside the house and got there.
honestly, I would get away from that.
They tell you to stand there like a door jam.
Yeah, like why would I just go outside where nothing can fall on my head?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I guess it's. I've been in like one or two like in downtown areas, and I'm like,
oh yeah, that makes sense.
you know, but I'm like, hey, if I die there, yeah, like that. I mean, it would suck if I was in like a 20-story building or something. And
oh
the
yeah,
ground falls out or whatever, but there's the king.
right.
It's out of my control.
Yeah, that's
Compared to like sitting in a tornado and you're just looking at it, you're like, yeah, we're fucked. Like,
yeah,
I can't go
absolutely.
anymore.
Yeah, and they got, I mean, especially those lower income areas, they got shitloads of trailer parks, and it's just like there's no storm shelter, there's no nothing.
No.
You guys are fucked. Like,
Literally
you
fucked.
like say your prayers, you're fucked.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you have a storm shelter, you're pretty much good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're everything on top's gone, but you're
Right. You might not be able to get back out.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be alive. But yeah, most of the houses there, they got basements.
Yeah.
And usually pretty solid foundation like flood area. So it's pretty stable there. But yeah, those trailer parks and stuff like that, they don't do shit with nothing. It's literally like you're poor, you're fucked. Like,
Yeah.
that's shitty shit.
stuff today, or?
I think they're doing interviews at Tech.
Yeah, we gotta go to Tech this week.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah, we're doing that later on until like 4, I think. It's still pretty early day.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna tomorrow should be earlier.
I think tomorrow will be
So start later and finish early.
like that.
I'm on board with that.
Yeah. Like, how can I make the most amount of money today and work the least amount of hours?
Exactly.
Battery level is low. The aircraft will go to the home point in 10 seconds.
Okay. We could,
30 seconds.
well, we could put you in we could sit you in the chair with a cold beer.
When you walk off, just walk this way so that he can pan over. Okay, anytime you're ready.
All right, guys, continuing coverage out here at qualifying here just outside of Prompt on this beautiful, chilly day. We are continuing now, getting ready to take the qualifying course, the Class 1 and the Unlimited trucks out here at Legacy Racing. So I'm going to step to the side here really quick, and we're going to start off with Jake Johnson. And Jake Johnson in the 1546 car. He is our reigning Class 1 champion, I do believe. And he was supposed to be scheduled behind Steve Olagus in the 27 Unlimited truck. But Steve Olagus, for unknown reasons, did not make the curtain call today here in qualifying. Right behind him, also the current reigning champion of Eric Husted. And Eric Husted, I know, enjoying the profits, or what would we say, the profits, the benefits, more, that's my producer saying that, the benefits of the number one plate, much better than the profits. But he's going to be out here, and he's an all-wheel drive truck. We got a new story out there as well on an all-wheel drive truck. Jonathan Brenthel out there in the 26 truck. You can see just behind Blaine Conrad in the Class 1 car. What's unique about the Brenthel truck, this is a brand new all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive Brenthel truck, and it is now come to fruition, and it is going to take battle out here. Just was talking with Jonathan, and he's ready to get some test time in the Brenthel Unlimited four-wheel drive truck, so it's going to be interesting to see how he qualifies. And we just got done watching the highlights from last year, so this is going to be exciting to see how it shapes up. A lot of the key players, such as Jonathan Brenthel, Eric Husted, Jake Johnson, Ladd Gilbert in the one car, and Jacob Fry. These were all racers that were here from last year, so they're here to take their qualifying run here this morning, just outside. We're just outside, literally in the middle of nowhere, outside of Pahrump, about 30 minutes out of Pahrump. So Legacy Racing Association has done a great job with this qualifying track, and it sounds fast. During the parade lap just now, the cars were really, really putting it down. So it was exciting to stand here from this vantage point and hear those engines spooled up and really going crazy. But the story of the day, you know, the 6100 class, we've got 23, I was saying just under 25. We got 23 6100 classes, class trucks, all gunning for that big $100,000 prize. And we'll talk about it right now. Unofficial results here of the Turbo UTV class out of Mesa, Arizona. It's going to be unofficial. I got to tell you guys, Garrett Glastra in the T924 car and Colton Husted, just like they started in the 938 second place qualifier and number 3 qualifier, the 810 of Andrew Blood. Andrew's going to be pretty excited about that. He's out at Grand Junction. So those are your unofficial results. We'll stay pinned to those a little later as the day progresses, and we'll talk about the qualifying. And here we go, back to action. Jake Johnson in the 1546 car. He's going to take his qualifying lap right now, and he's going to do it in about 2 minutes. When I see Donald up there holding the sign up, now that's very important, that sign there. To paraphrase what that sign says, it says racing is dangerous and potentially deadly. So you are constantly reminded that racing is a hazardous sport. But now with all the modern accommodations and all the tech that you have to race, it keeps that to a minimum here. And the boys and girls here at Legacy Racing Association do a great job of making sure that these cars are safe to race at these speeds. I mean, just so you know, if you're kind of new to desert off-road racing, these cars right here will do excess of 130 miles an hour in the rough stuff. So it's very interesting to see how these cars, excess of 600 horsepower, 900 horsepower coming up from these cars. And you think about that, chassis weigh from 5,000 to about 6,500 pounds. And the Class 1s here, they they kind of go back and forth. Is it the trucks or is it the Class 1 cars that are faster of the two? But as we've seen with Connor McMullen, man, just an off-road, he is just dominating the off-road scene right now. Connor McMullen, he just can't lose anything. And he's actually in a spec Class 1 car. And the difference between an unlimited truck and a spec is they have to have spec engines. All right, we're 30 seconds away. I know Jake Johnson's ecstatic to get some seat time in as we start off here in the 4-Wheel Parts Desert Showdown, brought to you by Legacy Racing Association. Liquid Molly starting line, and we're just moments away, Jake Johnson. And just like I told you, you can see that horsepower, you can hear that horsepower coming from that car. That's a 1546, and this is our champion, Eric Husted. He, quite a year, split the driving duties with TJ Flores, and it was exciting to, when they got on my podium, to see who was behind the seat and hear the story. But I know Eric Husted is he's feeling the pressure right now, so I know he's got his hands full. But you can see here, returning in the truck that he won the championship in last year. This truck just this is an all-wheel drive truck. He has lost four-wheel drive in it before and still finished the race. So that's what I always say. I'm a strong advocate of the all-wheel drive truck. So it's very, very awesome to see that the four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive trucks have made their way to the modern day race here in 2022 and Legacy Racing Association. We're just moments away from Eric Husted taking a start. So Eric Husted just blazing by us, man. You could really feel the horsepower of that engine once it spooled up. Now, we were talking with this, one of the crew members here, Blaine Conrad, here in the 1512 car. It's a Class 1 car. This, as you see, it's a single-seater. So all the driving duties and everything that co-pilot has to do, this young man's got to do all on his own. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this car shapes up with everything else that we have going against out here in Class 1. Wow, and I was just told by my producer, this is Sam Barry's old car, so this thing is a tried-and-true chassis, so it's going to be interesting to see what they changed, what they tweaked, what they, kept the same. So we'll see how this car shapes up here by the end of racing tomorrow. And tomorrow's just promising to be action-packed. This track, we've estimated, could be done in 4 hours here in the Unlimited class, so it's going to be fast. Once the last vehicle starts, I'm going to be rushing all the way to the podium just like we did last year, so it's going to be exciting to see. All right, also, while we are sitting here, I got to say thank you to Hurling Racing for providing this live stream coming from you, so that way you guys can hear my fancy voice. Turn 2 Productions out here, making sure that you guys got me networked in, coming right in to whether you're watching on your device or at home. And the Liquid Molly starting line, this is Blaine Conrad. And we were trying to figure out what LS that was, and I walked over to the crew and I said, hey, is that an LSX? They said, well, we know it's an LS. So, and that's crazy. The LS, they are so hard to tell because I think there's about 3 of them, and they are so hard to tell apart because visually, if you just walk up to look at an LS engine, they are very similar. All right, here's that truck we were talking about, Jonathan Brenthal in this truck, and this is an all-wheel drive Brenthal truck. Now, this is a brand new design. I've heard by my producer that they have actually been working on this truck for quite a while. So it is very awesome to see this truck out here. This is, Jonathan said, this is the test for this truck. So I wonder if he's going to race it all year. I would definitely be, like I said, a strong advocate of four-wheel drive. I would love to see this car. We see in the background there, I don't know if you could see it with our cameraman. You could see it. Jake Johnson now coming into the infield. And we'll see how it shapes up, and hopefully while we get the 6100 class, we'll get the unofficial results of the unlimited qualifying runs And again, when I announce them, they are unofficial, so they could change for any type of things. But unofficial generally stays the same here when we're talking about qualifying, because qualifying just determines. Here we are, Johnson Brenthal. And that truck is a usual Brenthal, man. You got to take these guys serious. It's an all-wheel drive Brenthal design. And this young man right here. All right. So I was just told that you guys are seeing out there on the track, so that's very exciting to see them as I'm talking. So once I send them off, I'll let you guys enjoy the qualifying. But this young man right here, Kevin McGilvery, and we were talking with him, and Phil Iverson was able to get out of him that this gentleman has over 46 years of off-road racing experience. So to see him out here, and we were able to walk over there and take a look at his truck, it is simply beautiful. So here we go, Kevin McGilvery in the number 56 Unlimited truck. All right, it's just been told that we have a roller. You've probably seen it by now. So we're probably going to take a break here in qualifying. So that means they'll probably hold up Kevin. And there are a lot of G-outs out there in qualifying. So now they did take their parade lap, though, or the pre-lap. So they were aware of all the G-outs and obstacles out here. So while we're doing that, let's talk about some of the sponsors that I will need to be saying all weekend. Once again, Hurling Racing, doing a great job making sure that you guys can hear and see everything that's going on here at Livestream with the Turn 2. Tuba Art Films is out here as well. Trophy Tractor returning here for the year 2022. They've done a great job at all our tractor work. And UTV Sports, the official publications.
This growing segment for probably the last 10 years. This guy has been one of the leaders in that industry.
What these cars could do now is just really, really amazing. People want to go fast and not brake, and that's where we teamed up with Liquid Moly. Horsepower, reliability, and the maximum protection.
Extreme pressures and a lot of heat. We not only have an oil to suit those, but also an additive to protect the turbo systems. One of those products is going to be our MOS2 additive, a solid lubricant that goes inside the motor. It puts a load-bearing film inside the engine and protects not only your turbo, but all the moving parts inside the motor. Don't be afraid of losing your warranty. We have all the latest specifications. Dive in.
Now that's a keeper right there. Man's not afraid to get down in the dirt.
You just hope he can get up. The older we get, I tell you what, hard to get back up.
Yeah, my girlfriend, we bought a new frame, just destroyed it. I've learned to roll over on my knees, doggy style.
Yeah. Chair right there so you can get out.
Yeah. All right. It was Blake Conrad that took it. All right, so Blake Conrad was the rollover, and we were talking about that. It was new for Blake Conrad. He was the rollover, and you guys could probably see it there from your vantage point. I do believe they got it, video of it, or video of the aftermath of it. So we're held up here on the starting line. Kevin McGilvery, standing here with Phil Iverson. Phil, you were able to talk with Kevin, man, and what was you were loving this truck, man. It is a beautiful truck. What were you feeling about that truck?
No, it's just a lot of detail. It's a good-looking truck. You know, it's got a lot of years behind it, technology, and a lot of good machine work done on that thing. That's all. I think it's a nice truck.
It is a beautiful truck. I just wanted to hear. You come from a motocross background, so coming and seeing these trucks, man. You know, I remember when I was first seeing the trucks for the first time back in the early '90s. These things were just amazing, and you know, I can imagine that you looking at these for the first time is just like eye candy.
It's not the first time. It's just you pay attention to the detail.
Yeah.
The detail on these trucks. They've done a lot of machine work to these things. Everything fits perfectly. So I mean, everything's hand built. They are shutting the engines down now as they're getting ready to get that guy flipped back over, whatever's going on with him. But no, there's just a lot of detail. It's not just his truck. It's all the trucks out here. It's any vehicle out here.
Yeah.
Even the stocks, they have so much detail and hand touch to these hands-on stuff that is just, they're amazing vehicles. But I mean, each one has its own unique sound, and these mechanics are not only mechanics, they're drivers, and there's a lot of time that goes into these machines, and you know, they take pride in their work and they race.
They do race.
Oh, they continue to race, and they continue to evolve the sport. I mean, 40 years ago, I look back at some of the associations I raced with before. They weren't this advanced, but they were still going fast. And now they're taking it to a place I didn't even think you could get to. I mean, now you've got the Razors, you've got the Can-Ams, you've got all these other vehicles out here, and they're pushing some serious horsepower. And then you turn around and slap a turbo on them, and it's insane. So you've got the fast trucks, fast cars, fast Razors or ATVs, you know, UTVs, whatever you want to call them, but they're just so much detail, and the bottom line is so much money. And like I say, the quickest way to make a millionaire out of somebody is to start with 10 million and spend 9 of it. And you'll be a millionaire.
Start being a billionaire.
Yeah, it's not a rewarding sport if you're looking for financial gain. It's a rewarding sport if you like a challenge, because one thing good about off-road racing, every single event is difficult, a challenge. Even qualifying, it's a challenge. It's a different type of challenge, but it is a challenge.
You know, you brought up the stock vehicles there in that list that you're talking about, and you know, in my experience, it's actually harder to race a stock vehicle because you're trying to make, you know, at least the stock components, the stock pivot points function in a race like this, and a lot of, you gotta really be easy on equipment to make the equipment survive in a stock class.
Yeah, but you call it stock, and yeah, it is stock, but still the bottom line is every single component on these vehicles, stock or mod, have been taken off. This thing is bare bone stripped. Some of them might have just driven them out the show floor room, but they still had to make modifications to where they know every nut and bolt. Looks like they fired him back up. Looks like he's going to get ready to go do some thunder down under. This is our guy out here with 46 years experience, so he's definitely knows what's going on. So pretty soon we're going to see exactly what he knows.
Let's learn a little bit about Kevin McGillivray. See what I got for him here.
I guess it's safe to say I didn't teach him anything about off-road racing. He's known it all himself, but I do like my motocross.
Tell me some of the fast drivers here, or riders in motocross.
Everybody's out here fast, but tell you what, man, I remember back in the McCachran days and Walker Evans days, those guys were legends. They still are legends, but those guys secured this sport by their flair, their speed, their aggressiveness. Heck, I mean, Terrible Hearst, I remember back in the day, they had their helicopters out chasing their guys around. I mean, that's banging right there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's as deep pocket as you want to get, and but you can get by on a budget. You know, it's just everybody's got their own little budget.
Crazy you brought up the Herbs. I remember seeing them at Parker in 1994 for the first time I've ever seen the helicopter support. Yeah. And you could always tell when they had 3 trucks in that race. You know, Tim, Ed, and Troy, they all had their own trucks. Yeah. And
deep pockets.
Man, definitely deep pockets. They were definitely one of the teams to be reckoned with. Rob McCachran, he was able to race in his old Steve Serapis Geyser-built trophy truck here last year at the Baja Nevada, and I'm
Back
assuming
in the old days,
they
they used to have a Volkswagen. Remember that old Volkswagen bug class used to be out here? I don't know how many Volkswagens are left, but there used to be a stock Volkswagen class.
Class 11, I'm very familiar with it.
Old days, and those things are put around.
don't care how many times I hear that noise, that never gets old to me.
I love the sound of engines, boy.
All right, so that means we've got Blaine Conrad back off the course. So big ups to the safety crew. Yes, indeed, this is Jonathan Brenthal, and this is a big deal here because this is an all-wheel drive truck. I've been talking about it, but I was able to talk with Jonathan. This is their first four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive chassis. So if you're familiar with Brenthal trucks, this is their four-wheel drive campaign truck.
Hey, Mark, also, just for you people who are listening to us out there in Legacy, we're talking about the vehicles that are loading up on the line. You, though, spectators, are actually watching the vehicles out on the track. So we'll start giving you a little name and number or maybe description, and then you'll know what vehicle we're talking about. But I know right now you guys are watching something entirely different than what we're talking about. We are at the staging right now, and you're watching the racing. So there's no bad seat. There's no bad place to be. So I just wanted to shoot you guys to let you people know that we are talking about something different, but we'll get to your racers as well. Mark, so they knew.
Absolutely. It'd be interesting to see them out there on the course. But like you said, we're here at the Liquid Moly starting line here in qualifying just outside of
the Legacy Liquid Moly.
The
Come on, Legacy
Racing
baby.
Association Liquid Moly starting line.
That's right. Here we go. Yeah. That is a work of art. Well, I know you guys that are listening to us can hear us. Now, that are these guys. They're dead start. They just hit the gas. The back end comes down to the ground, and the front end comes all the way up. It's like that. What, that 3/6 suspension? What do they call it?
Yep. Yep.
They are some gorgeous trucks in staging right now. You guys should be here looking at it.
So Ken Knudsen, this is an interesting story here. This truck,
Number 8, right? Number 8.
Number 8. This truck actually has just progressed throughout the years. And you've seen this truck progress.
Oh, I would know this was a drive-to-work truck,
Yeah,
and then he just kept modifying it,
yeah.
and now it's a drive-to-the-races and race truck.
Yeah. So you'll see a lot of things on this truck that are reminiscent of the stock truck that it once was. So
started out with factory chassis and then start cutting things off and welding new things on.
So
but he's still pushing those 40s.
Now this is a pretty interesting development right here. You can see in the background Houston, or Householder rather, coming into play, and it's going to be very nice to have Householder here back in the ranks of the Unlimited trucks. Or I do believe he's a 6100 truck, so they're already staging. You can see the 6100
Yeah,
trucks.
they're back there staging out now. And I got to tell you right now, it's starting to get a little bit warmer out here, and going to look for some times to start changing. But once again, this is qualifying. They're not actually on the track that they're going to be racing on tomorrow. Here we go. Looks pretty smooth to me. It's amazing watching the suspension work on those vehicles. Do 80, 90, 100 miles an hour through the middle of the desert, and their heads don't move. The wheels are just going bop, bop, bop.
Now, if you're back there watching it live from where you're sitting, you're probably looking at Jonathan Brenthal right now and watching that all-wheel drive truck work out there on the course. And we can actually hear them here in the background. They are just standing on the gas, so this must be very fast.
Right, but you're talking about all-wheel drive, but what about, do you think they have an advantage on something like this compared to the two-wheel drive trucks? Because, I mean, there's no foof powder right here, so I don't know if qualifying is going to play any, we'll have to look at the times, obviously, but I wonder how much of an advantage all-wheel drive is going to be to a two-wheel drive on this type of a flatland track.
Well, in my opinion, there are definite advantages to both. You know, everybody says at first, yep, well, that's what the first one I'd bring up. But everybody says with an all-wheel drive truck, there's more to brake. But then I'm like, okay, you break the front suspension, now you're back to two-wheel drive. But absolutely, you just brought up the biggest one that I would bring to this discussion is that you put an all-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive truck in the direction you're going, and you don't really have to put a lot of input into the steer wheel. Point it and just mash down on the accelerator.
But when it comes time for you to have to steer it, that's when you start breaking components.
That's right. That's exactly right. So there's
like this guy. Look at that hairpin he just had to turn out there, which I know you people can't see, but we're watching one of the Class 1 trucks. Part of the qualifying course had a chicane, a hard right turn. So on an all-wheel drive truck, that's got to be 10 times more difficult to make that tight thing. And if you're not competent in that, which you got to be by this time, you're going to start snapping things when you're trying to turn so sharp.
Yeah, absolutely. Those trucks, you got to remember that they're producing power to all four tires. You know, a regular four-wheel drive truck is actually only really a two-wheel drive truck because they have open differentials.
Yeah,
that's correct. These trucks, normally with a spooled rear end, there is no differential in the rear. The front that's where the traction really plays a part, and most of them put some sort of coupler on the front wheel drive, like what was known as a viscous coupler.
Right.
So that way, if the back end overpowers the all-wheel drive, the front wheel drive is just there for the ride until that's correct, until it starts to need traction. That's correct.
Well, these guys are flat getting it on out there, man. I'm telling you what, right now it sounds so good.
It really does.
Right now, the 61s are loading up, and they are some very, very fast-looking vehicles, and they're all chasing that big $100,000. I know it's $10,000, but it's still a lot of money invested right here. You know, it's funny. People spend $1 million on a truck so they can chase down 10 grand. That's kind of a backward sport, but it is awesome.
It is definitely awesome.
These things are works of art. I mean, you could put them in a museum, a showpiece. They are showpieces. Every one of these trucks are showpieces.
Well, I'm a little confused here. Brent, though, must have had some issues out there because Kevin came in before Jonathan. So,
all right. Hey, guys, Mark, I think they're going to be taking a commercial. We want to keep you guys posted with Legacy. Keep an eye on us, and we'll see you guys soon. We're out here in Pahrump at Legacy Racing right now, guys. All right, so we're up. That's cool. So, they're loading up now. All right. Hey, you guys told me 5 minutes. I pulled my truck out. I couldn't even get over here.
Soar over the dunes with the Sandblast by CST Tires. This lightweight, dune-engineered tire delivers maximum flotation and high performance. The size and tread design of the front tire creates excellent flotation and turning ability, so transitioning from dune to dune is effortless.
our core values, quality work that comes from the safety on our job sites, the teamwork that makes it happen from employees that are guided by integrity, and making a commitment that we are proud of at Stronghold Engineering. Our values have been instrumental in our success and ability to build or facilitate anything imaginable. Stronghold Engineering, building construction excellence since 1991.
Yeah, I got that right turn. We're good.
Let's meet up at the compound group up.
At 10-4. Yeah, for sure, dog. Good, little driver, straight on through.
Racing's racing. Sometimes you finish, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. It is what it is.
But hey, you made the finish line.
Heck yeah, that's all that matters, man. Thank you.
The all-new Apache by CST Tires. CST Tires' first steel-belted offering for the side-by-side market is designed for heavy loads, long trips, and smooth rides. With an aggressive, light truck-inspired tread pattern and ample sidewall protection, the Apache is built to withstand the toughest conditions. From dry desert lake beds to Rocky Mountain trails, the Apache will get you there. The all-new Apache by CST Tires.
How do you take your new rig from this to this and get it ready for this? The journey kicks off with a trip to 4-Wheel Parts, where you're in the driver's seat and we're right there with you. With our 60 years of experience and thousands of vehicles built, we'll transform your Bronco with the all-new line of 4WP factory accessories. For extra protection from off-road hazards, more ground clearance for tougher terrain, accessories for the outdoor lifestyle, or parts that'll make your rig truly unique. Whether you want to order the best parts online, shop in-store, do the work yourself, or have it built by a pro, all trails lead to the truck, Jeep, or Bronco of your dreams. Because nobody knows off-road like 4-Wheel Parts. Do your Bronco right.
There's nothing wrong with looking good. But when riding is your passion, it's performance that matters. Like having the off-road's most advanced suspension. It monitors input from driver and machine 200 times every second and automatically adjusts each shock to flatten corners, soak up the bumps, and handle the hazards. Confidence and control for those who live to ride. Polaris, think outside.
Yeah, I got that right turn. We're good. Let's meet up at the compound group up.
At 10-4. Yeah, for sure, dog.
Good, little driver, straight on through.
We are built on our core values, quality work that comes from the safety on our job sites, the teamwork that makes it happen from employees that are guided by integrity, and making a commitment that we are proud of at Stronghold Engineering. Our values have been instrumental in our success and ability to build or facilitate anything imaginable. Stronghold Engineering, building construction excellence since 1991.
Okay. I know Phil's down with that.
They're just finishing up their last job.
The wet t-shirt contest is getting ready to begin over here. I need a Mai Tai. Not to be confused with Muay Thai. Last time I asked for a Muay Thai, I got kicked in the face. Say when. Too bad to see Kelly taken off the list.
So what?
Kelly McNeil. But he's either not qualifying or he didn't make it. And that's not good. I wanted to see the new yellow truck on here. Oh. All right, Phil, we're back to live action here. Starting off here on the 6100 class.
That's
it's going to
right.
be Kirk Harkey. Kirk Harkey.
Big boys out here tearing it up now. They just did their little sight lap so they can come through and put the pedal to the metal. He did shut his truck off out front as they're waiting to get them sending off again because I think they got another truck out on the field. But these guys definitely can put the hammer down. So it's going to be a lot of fun racing out here. We got a long list of racers out here, Mark. I mean, tell us some about, what about Brent Fox? What about that guy?
So Brent Fox running new livery here today. It's really interesting to see his truck out here. Brent Fox was a hard charger for the championship last year. Travis Williams, your champ out here. Very nice to see him back here. Now, Travis Williams bring with him Diamondback Construction, and they've put over $100,000 into this class, which would explain the 23 entries that we have here for the 6100 class. This is a really, really great turnout for this class.
That's right. Like I said, spend $1 million on your truck so you can go after 10 grand. But sounds like it makes sense to me. I tell you what, we got a nice little breeze coming back up now, which is going to come in really good because for a while there it was stagnant, and those guys, truck drivers, could not see 2 feet out in front of them. So nice to have a little bit of a breeze. Not too bad on us either. But we are actually out here in Pahrump. This is round number 1, Legacy Racing out here doing it. We got Liquid Molly out here helping us out. We got a lot of great events going on. Be sure to check us out at legacyracing.com. And we've got a lot of racing going on for the rest of the year. We've got races out in, where is that? The Laughlin. Out in Laughlin's going to be a wild run out there. We just finished up last year with Cedar. So, Mark, what do you think about Laughlin coming up?
Well, that's going to be exciting. You know, that course and the course changes that are out there. The really cool thing about Laughlin is it's done right there in town. You know, if you literally could be walking to a casino, look over and see the off-road races happening right there. And as far as I know, there's no other venue like that anywhere. And it's a loop race, so you'll do about 4 or 5 loops out there. And so it's just really going to be some great, great racing going on out there in Laughlin.
Yeah, involving the town out there, it kind of boosts their economy and kind of familiarizes everybody with our Legacy Racing Association out here as well. But like I said, be sure to check us out, Legacy Racing Association. Find out about all our up-and-coming events. Find out what we're about. Maybe you want to become a racer, or maybe you just want to be a spectator. We want all of them. Racers, spectators, anybody to come on out and check it out. We are in Pahrump, though, right now. This is opening round 1. And it's got a great, great turnout, no doubt, because we got a lot of money involved. And we'd like to keep it coming. So, hey, if you want to find out where you might fit, check us out at Legacy Racing Association. Let's see where you might be able to fit in with our program.
That's right. You can find it at legacyracing.net. All the things that you need to know about off-road racing are there. You can get in contact with them if there's any questions that you have.
Well, that's right. I said .com. Sorry
That's
about
okay.
That was legacyracing.net.
That's
Sorry
all
about that.
We will get it. We will get it for the weekend. You know, we can't thank enough of the Legacy partners that have come out here and make this happen for us. Hurling Racing, doing a great job making sure that we are live on whatever device you're watching this on, either your phone or the computer or your home. You can watch any of this. Brought to you by Hurling Racing. And Turn 2, being the production company that Hurling Racing has put in charge. They're out here making us sound and look so good. All-Terrain Concepts, the official light, and Sea Devil, the official balloon lighting. And if you've never seen these Sea Devils, man, these things are unbelievable. Liquid Molly, you can see Liquid Molly out here on our qualifying starting line.
Yeah, we got Vision Canopy, All-Terrain Concepts, Sea Devil, Tuba Art Films, Turn 2 TV Productions, looks like Motorsport Safety Solutions, Quantum Motorsports, Diamondback Materials, and, of course, Polaris Razor.
The Polaris out here, if you've just seen that, as we were looking at them earlier here in the turbo qualifying, these cars, most notably the ones that turn the longer 4-seaters, as you were talking about, into the 2-seater longer wheelbase car. So it's very exciting to see that.
Yeah, more control. I did get an email. If you did want to email me, you can email me, Phil Iverson, at iversonraceway.com. That's iversonraceway.com. I did answer a couple of people didn't tell me that they didn't know that there was a race out here. Mr. Nick Tarrin could have brought your truck out here. But look up legacyracing.net and find out about our next event, you guys. Be sure to check us out. So, Mark, they're in staging again now. Now, this is for their fast lap. They've already done a sight lap. And we've got everybody pretty much shut down. I'm not sure why. We'll let you guys know as soon as we find out what's going on. But remember, everything we say is pretty much unofficial. So when I tell you that I taught them everything about off-road racing, you'll pretty much know that I seriously did teach them everything they know about it. So, all right. So, Mark, tell us about this class, and not about the money, but about the dedication of these racers.
All right, so what makes the 6100 class very unique here? These are unlimited trucks. In other words, to every detail of the unlimited trucks, you can actually take an unlimited truck chassis and get it into this class. Now, what this does is it cuts the cost down in the unlimited class. The unlimited class, you could spend as much as $50,000 in logistics alone just to get an unlimited truck to go to the races. These trucks all have the same engine, same manufacturer, same specs. So this is a 6100 spec class on the unlimited truck chassis of your choice. But the idea is to keep the racing costs down here in the 6100 class.
They spent quite a bit of money, and like I said, this is the guy chasing his last year's championship was Travis Williams, right? The 6177.
Travis Williams.
Yeah, Travis Williams back out here doing it again, chasing that dollar signs, but mostly trying to chase and be consistent and get that win in the W in the finish section.
Gotta love the W's, man, no matter what class you're racing.
That's what pays the bills in the long run. Sponsors, they don't like seeing the DNFs. They like to see the big W's, or at least tell them a good story and get a DNF.
But now what is unique is I saw on the interwebs that Travis Williams had adapted Connor McMullen into the program, but Connor McMullen now was scheduled to race his 6200 car. It is a spec car, too. It's a Class 1 car. And this kid just comes out here, and he's been dominating, just a very dominant force in any race that he goes to. But I got to get the story on this for tomorrow, or maybe later on today we could talk with Connor in contingency. Right. But Connor McMullen is out here in a Brenthal all on his own. He's in the 6173 truck, so we'll see him taking it. You can tell Connor's in the truck because his race suit is about as day glow as the green that you have on your vest here with Legacy.
What about the top racers? We know that we've got the 6177 to Travis Williams. Brent Fox definitely a dominating force at 6146. Who are other fast riders out here?
Well, we can't go without talking about Adam Householder. This Adam Householder, he's been in off-road racing for a long, long time.
At 6139.
That's correct, and you can see his blue and orange. It's been synonymous with off-road racing for as long as I've been part of it. And Adam has just progressed from, I've seen him out of the dunes, I've seen him in everything, and to see his family out here. Definitely can't go without saying something about Adam Householder. Justin Bean Smith, another legendary name in off-road racing. He has been around forever, so he has the opportunity to put his truck up on top. But
looks like they're firing him up now. We're going to get ready for not a sight lap, but a hot lap, and it's about to get crazy down below over here.
So Travis Williams is probably going to kill me, but if I was a betting man and I'm in Pahrump, Nevada, my money's on Connor McMullen.
Okay, we got a minute and a half? Really? Okay.
We're still a minute and a half out.
So you think that Connor's going to beat Travis?
Well, here's what's happening is Connor McMullen, he's very young. I do believe he's just turned 21.
What's the age got to do with this?
Well, I'm going to tell you, Connor McMullen has been racing trophy karts in the short course Lucas Series for as long as I can remember, and he was a very dominant force in that top 5 finisher almost every single race. When he jumped up into desert, I was just amazed, and he started winning right away in a Class 10 car. He actually overall a race in a Class 10 car. Not unique, but very hard to do. When he ended up getting into the Class 1 car, making it in a spec class, any race he entered, he just started dominating. So the age and just the young, this hungriness, I don't know what Connor's got.
I still think Travis Williams is going to put a W over there.
Well, Travis is definitely.
See, you talk about youth and all that, and that's great. And I'm old, but I'll tell you what, when you've got the ability, the vision to see and go fast, age comes into play here.
I have to agree with you, so we'll see how that plays out. Definitely interesting.
It'll be fun to watch anyway.
My money's still on Connor, and Travis is probably going to get mad at me for saying it.
I ain't going to get mad.
Well, we'll talk about that over beers tonight. So
that's it.
All right. Kirk Hartley getting ready to take his time on the qualifying course.
That's 6155 in a beautiful green-looking truck. For you guys that are watching things going on right now, I'm sure you can see us hopefully out here at the starting line. And we are getting ready to start these guys off on their hot lap, which is going to be their timed lap. We already did the sight laps, and these guys are loaded up, and it looks like they're about ready to hit that light. And you're going to get to hear what we get to hear because it's coming up right about now. Don't make a liar out of me. If I start talking, he'll hit the gas. Watch. Once upon a time, I was in Pahrump at a Legacy Racing Association event. There we go. Now that is smooth. That's like aged whiskey. That was really soft, smooth, but he was moving really, really fast. Now you got the next racer up here. It's going to be, I believe that's Miles Miller, and that's 6188 in a beautiful white and orange truck, and it is a gorgeous looking truck. These vehicles are definitely works of art.
Well, now, if I remember correctly, Miles Miller showed up here last year. And I think it was the only race that I saw him at here was the Prump race.
Yeah, now the truck I was just talking about, Kirk Harkey, you're going to see him up at turn 1 right now. He's coming at you live, and he's going to be on the gas so they can understand what we have already seen. They're coming into view now.
Right. We're sitting here at the starting line, so it's very hard to see what you're seeing out there in qualifying here and what your feed is. There's also a 20-second delay from where we're sitting from the studio and when it gets to you.
Yeah,
so.
and on that note, like I say, today is qualifying. You folks that want to come out here, you live out in Vegas, Arizona, wherever, come on out, hang out. It's going to be a lot of fun out here. Parump's got some good food out there. Grab some food, come on out, and watch these races going on. You get to be involved with it. I mean, it's a lot of fun to watch this stuff.
Pahrump has actually just come around. I mean, it's like a little chunk of Vegas that floated away up the mountains here. And,
oh, no, man. I keep hearing how it's going to be blown up. That's why I bought 10 acres here 30 years ago, because it was going to blow up. I'll hold my breath.
Well, it definitely has gotten bigger since I've been out here from 97. We were out here last year, and
the desert's a lot bigger now. Yeah, there's a lot more of it. A lot more desert out here now. And we are out in the middle of nowhere, you guys, and it is still awesome out here.
I love it. All right. Miles Miller, now you're second to get ready to take the course of the 6188.
Yeah. And, oh!
Psych.
Yeah, that was a psych. That was like what you call a cheater. We were trying to not talk while he's roosting it, because you're not going to hear us when he does. Actually, these things aren't near as loud as I thought. And there they go. Boy, you can sure tell who sunk a lot of money into their motors. That thing is definitely on the gas.
They can't sink a lot of money in their motors. That's the whole thing. This is a spec class. These motors are identical. Now, outside fuel management and
suspension
and exhaust and everything, you're open to run whatever exhaust of choice, so you may hear different sounds. But these engines are literally identical in every single truck.
Sure sounds smooth.
Yeah,
nice,
that's the key.
Smooth.
You'll see. Like I said, you could hear Adam's truck here. Very different sound here just because of the exhaust. Very different exhaust note coming out of his truck.
Yeah, that's Adam Householder that we're talking about, race 6139. He is actually in staging right now, getting ready to do his hot lap. He is actually next up to go. You're going to be seeing coming at you guys that are watching it on TV or on your camera. You're watching Miles Miller coming at you through the first turn, 6188. But in staging right now, it is Householder.
Miles Miller, I saw his truck when I got in here last night, and I just couldn't believe how beautiful that truck was. The livery, the white with the colors that he chose is just awesome. Very clean look. But this one, the blue and orange of Adam Householder, this is synonymous in off-road racing.
Stands out, too, with that orange.
Yeah, it definitely pops. The blue has, I've seen the blue, progress throughout the years, and, man, you can just see that metal flake and that bright orange, and it's definitely cool to see how his program has come full circle, and now here he is in the 6100 class competing for that big money.
Going for it. Go broke or go home. Right now, getting ready, waiting for that green light. Sounds like he's just about there. I think they're waiting him to get to that first turn down, and then they lock and load him, or it's on time. But I know they've got a light over there.
While we are sitting here waiting, you guys are watching, let's talk about some more of the sponsors out here. Racing Junk, the official online classifieds, and Beck's Sunglasses, the sunglasses that I actually have on there, an official sponsor here at Legacy Racing. Adam Householder takes his time on the qualifying track. You'll see him coming into turn one here briefly. So while you're watching Adam Householder now with his qualifying run, back here on the starting line, it's C.R. Guterre in the 6181 truck. And Ride the Trekker is one of his sponsors. You can see it there on the air dam of these trucks. Now, an interesting fact about these air dams, this is something relatively new to off-road racing. They discovered that by running these air dams, or spoiler, or a valance, there's several names for this thing, that they actually get better aerodynamics.
Yeah, well, when you're doing 100 miles an hour across the desert, you need all the brakes you can get. But you're also trying to divert the dust away from your engine and your breathing system. So technology has definitely helped these guys out. It looks like 6181 is about to take off, and that is going to be CR Guitar. Is that
Guitar?
Guitar, yeah. Guitar is just waiting for the green light, and then he's going to take off like a bat out of you-know-where.
Well, now it's crazy. You were just talking about some of the aerodynamics and things. It used to be back in the old days when these trucks were first built. You could see the whole scoop up there. Right. These are one-piece fiberglass designs, so when these trucks became airborne, the air pocket would scoop in there like a shovel, and it would lift the front of the trucks up. So it took them a while to cut the shark fins that you see on the fenders. You can see them when the truck goes by. There's a lot of places cut in the one-piece front end to make the air go around and out of it now, because that is, once these trucks become airborne, the aerodynamics now becomes linear and goes right into that big scoop. So having the shark gills, if you will, up there on the front of it, you can see it there as it lifts up. But get
now,
that air
on that, these are rear-wheel drive only, correct?
Well, now that's a good question. I would imagine so, being a spec class, but I don't know the rules of that. In fact, I was just thinking about if they could run all-wheel drive in the 6100 class.
Well, I haven't seen any front wheels turning off this
Yeah,
yet.
I mean, I'm going to have to look into that. That is definitely something that I was just sitting here contemplating. If they could run an all-wheel drive in the spec class. Something I'll have an answer for you by tomorrow.
I'll get an answer here in about 10 minutes.
You're the man. I was going to say tomorrow because I was going to hit some of the OGs up and say, hey. But out on the course right now, you should be able to see CR Guitar coming into turn one. And he's taking his chance at the qualifying run. And in the background there, you can see Miles Miller now coming in.
Well, you got to remember, too, now this is qualifying. They're not even on the track that we're going to be racing on. So number one priority is to finish this. You're going to find out that some of these racers did not choose to qualify for just that reason. They don't want to thrash their vehicles. They know their equipment is ready to go. So what's the point? Other ones, they want to get out there and turn it, burn it, make sure if something's going to break, or they're still testing, what have you. And that's why qualifying works for some and not for others.
That's correct. And beautiful livery here. Brent Fox, he was silver and red for the 2021 year. But, man, look at the new livery, the white with blue. Very clean
Can't
lines.
beat red, white, and blue. That's the great thing about America, boy.
Yeah.
Love our country.
I love it. Look at the red lights there on his A-pillars as well. Brent Fox, definitely a young man to talk to on the podium. He's a lot of fun. He actually had McCachran, his kid, in with him as a co-rider last year, and it was very interesting to meet McCachran's son. An off-road racer on his own ride.
Well, I tell you what, that's a big name to fill the shoes on, McCachran. You got to definitely play your cards close to the vest if you're running that name. Now, these guys are coming back in, and like I said, the wind has changed a little bit of direction into our face, which is bad for us, but good for the racers, because at least they get some clear air out in front of them. And they're giving them plenty. They're gapping them pretty good to where they can actually get it on pretty hard if they want to.
All right, LD Smith in another Brenthal car with his Toyo Tires sponsor. You can see the Toyo Tires sticker there clearly displayed on that Valance we were talking about earlier. But this is a Brenthal design, and it's going to be interesting to find out as you ask the question. Brenthal mostly making two-wheel drive cars, and they're out here in the Unlimited class in an all-wheel drive car, first of its type from Brenthal Industries.
Yeah, but like I told you before, is still, I'm sure it's apples and oranges. People prefer all-wheel versus two-wheel. Some like two-wheel, some like all-wheel. To me, I think the two-wheel is the winner because it's less things moving, less things breaking. But I've seen some races before where you're going through 6 feet of foof powder, and rear-wheel drive is worthless.
Well, we were talking about age over the wisdom over. Well, I'll tell you what, in my age at 52 years old, I don't want to get out because we're stuck.
That's right.
And
so
that
that's
is a
where
pain.
all-wheel drive would come into
That's
play.
correct. And, I've raced, in my racing career, I have found that all my trucks have been four-wheel drive. And Ford produced that shift on the fly, so all you got to do is slow down to about 45 miles an hour and pop it into fourth gear high. And, man, I'd get out of that silt like nothing. And, I mean, I'd pass trophy trucks in an old Class 3 four-wheel drive Bronco because I could do 45, 50 miles an hour in four-wheel drive in the silt.
The most important thing is to keep that forward momentum going, too. So when you come up on a lapped rider or a slower rider and you're trying to get around him, and you're in foof powder, it's going to make it real hard to keep it going.
I agree. All right, LD Smith, he'll take his time out on the qualifying course. You'll see him come into frame here just shortly into turn 1. And
some beautiful trucks out here today.
Definitely. With 23 trucks here that are registered, shown up here for qualifying. Kelly McNeil, I hope his story is he just didn't make qualifying because...
that dude was on the gas. Once again, also, you can find out about all our up-and-coming events at legacyracing.net. Find out about what we got going on. And I tell you what, if you got nothing going on tomorrow, come on out and hang out with us out here in Pahrump, Nevada. Check it out, legacyracing.net, and find out exactly where we're at. But come and watch our races out here. It's a lot of fun. Bring some snacks, bring the family, and have some fun out here.
Well, and if you do plan on coming out here to Pahrump, make sure you get here early. You can come out to the starting line, watch these trucks rip out of here, and then get back into Pahrump for the time for me to talk to them. And you'll see the race action on the live stream brought to you by Hurling Racing.
Yeah, plus we were able to catch a cottontail ranch before we got over here, right?
I like your style.
All right. John Walker. Oh, so John Walker is out of this race. That's a bummer. 6189. We were just talking about him. Fast racer.
Yeah, John Walker
is out.
For sure. He's a lot of fun.
So I'm not sure what happened to his vehicle, but he is out. So we were talking about the Cottontail Ranch, and yeah, we had to get there earlier. And I hope my wife's not listening. Is that even still out here?
I have no clue.
Is it in Pahrump or is it?
I heard they're way out in remote locations.
Nobody tells me anything anymore.
Right.
All right, so we are back out here again. Looks like we got, who's this?
John Walton.
Walton?
Or no,
yeah, John
Jason
Walton.
Gaunt. Let's try it
No,
again.
it's John Walton, 6120.
Yeah, let's try it again. Yeah, John Walton. John Walker got taken out.
Yeah.
Jason Gaunt is right behind him in the Smiley 6100 truck. So we'll get it straight there.
Yeah,
That's
Walker
the first mistake I ever made in my life right there. Now, I don't know if you noticed that body on that truck, but that is a very unique body. A couple of them are out here today. Most of these bodies are taken from, a Chevy or a Ford. You can see
the molds.
the
Yeah,
hues.
the molds.
But some of these trucks, like the one you're looking at right here, what is that? That's just a custom-made body. So very interesting to see how John Walton's body, it looks very aerodynamic and very cool out here in the 6100 class.
That's Jason Gaunt right there. Right? That's
Yes,
Jason
sir.
Gaunt, and he is in staging. Once again, you folks that are watching our event right now, the camera's not on what we're talking about. They're up at the first turn and floating all around, so we're just giving you play-by-play as they take off out here in staging. These are the hot laps for the Class 6100. They've already done their sight lap. Now we're going for a hot lap, giving their time, their qualifying times. Once again, they are not racing or qualifying on the track that they're going to actually race on tomorrow. This is an opportunity for them to put down a fast lap, make sure their vehicles are operating properly, basically have fun, show their love for the sport. And like I said, we sure are glad to have them out here.
Well, what they're gunning for is that top position to start, and hopefully
Absolutely.
that they'll have the clean air, and that should give them the advantage. In my experience, I haven't really seen an advantage because you have to deal with all the other classes. So dust is always a factor, but some people like being up front. I prefer to start in the back. Because my attitude is if I'm in somebody's dust, I'm right up there.
I just like a big bumper and a loud horn. I'll go right through them.
I like your style. But coming up right after Jason Gaunt here, it is our current reigning champion, Travis Williams.
6177, the one you betrayed and told him he's not even going to
I'm never going to hear the end of that.
I covered it, though. He's going to get first place. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Travis, you know I love you, Bubba.
That's why he just gave it to, who'd you give it to? McMillan? Yep, you gave it to McMullen.
Connor McMullen.
Uh-oh.
That's all right. They'll get it figured out.
6158, Jason Gaunt.
Well, you know what, though? I can say this. I know what my prediction is, but you know what? I'll be glad to eat those words because I will not be upset if Travis Williams comes out the victor of today's race again.
Yeah. More importantly, like to see them all get finished, be happy, big smiles on their face, get ready for that race day tomorrow. So now this guy has different, you notice his exhaust is facing down to where the other ones were coming out the side. His exhaust is actually pointing down, blowing dirt up. So that's something I haven't seen anyone else have their exhaust pointing that way, and that's Mr. Fast Cat. So he would definitely know maybe that's a trick. Maybe Travis has got something going on.
Well, funny you're bringing up that, too. A lot of the things you bring up, these trucks become very limited with 80 gallons of fuel on it. 2 spare tires, as you see, 2 full-size 40-inch spare tires. their room's very limited, so a lot of the racers chose to put the stack up out of the right behind the cab. Like you said, you see them pointing up in the air.
Well, I can hear something coming, like a noise coming from that engine that I didn't hear before. I hear it.
It's a little different, right?
Yeah, well, I can hear something on the top of it chattering, which usually means low oil. So.
Yeah, not in these. That you won't have a low oil condition here. I mean, if they do, they're probably going to have a catastrophic failure.
Fans. It's probably the air fans.
You got fans here, and they're fans. They have fans on everything, and these things can have easily 6 fans on them with no problem.
Now, their
Tranny cooler
electrical
fans.
system's got to be amazing, right?
Man, 140 amp alternators. I've actually seen people.
They run duals or singles?
I've seen dual setups where people.
Yeah, I would think you'd run a dual because if you could, because for the fact is, if you go out there, out in the middle of nowhere, you want to be able to start up, and do 2 batteries or 2 alternators is always better than 1. Right?
Well, absolutely, and the alternators. What kills an alternator is heat. So keeping the alternator cool and at its correct power and properly regulated. So
Look
Travis
how
Williams,
that truck is.
Travis Williams now he's going to take his run here on the qualifying round. We'll see how he does.
That was fast.
Like I said, Travis, I'd love to see you on top of my box.
So now John Walker, he is out 6'1", So coming up after that's going to be Travis Chase. Travis Chase is going to be 6'1", and he's got to read the sign, give it a thumbs up, and then he moves on. So
Travis Williams now coming into your frame, coming into turn 1 here at the qualifying track. He's going to be poised, and I know he's going to lay down a very fast lap because I know Travis Williams, he's going to want that coveted number 1 position.
That Travis Chase, that truck sounds gnarly right there.
Well, and as we said, the only difference you're going to see in these trucks is
I still think a motor can be built, even if it's the exact same. The builders, I know what they're doing. So you can get a better motor, even if it's exactly the same, and have it perform better than someone else's.
Well, let's hope that's not the case, because that's exactly what this class is supposed to do. Is everybody's supposed to be on the same motor? It makes this.
Well, they're on the same motor, but I'm just telling you, you got some people that are better with the wrenches than the others.
Gotcha. Well, we'll see how that plays into it. I'm sure that is always something to add to the equation for sure.
Once again, check us out, legacyracing.net. Find out about all our up-and-coming events, current events, point standings, pretty much everything we got going on. Check us out, legacyracing.net. This is our first round for 2022, and I tell you what, it's a beautiful day out here. And it's a beautiful day to watch racing, that's for sure.
So you're probably watching Travis Williams right now out on the qualifying course. Right. And he's going to be coming in. We'll see. We'll try to have some unofficial results for you before we leave here. But Travis Chase, one to be reckoned with right here in the 6100 class, getting ready to take the start.
Chase about ready to drop the hammer, and there he goes. Whoa! All right, so that's the first time I saw a truck sit and spin. Everybody else took off, so that would tell me that you don't want to do that.
Yeah, a lot of wheel spin can be bad.
Too much wheel spin.
You're actually losing traction at that point.
We actually got spectators out here in the no-no land, it looks like.
They're watching that. Yeah, that's not a place I'd want to stand right there, that's for sure.
You had to go off to the side to get around him. I tell you what, once again, if you guys want to come out and watch what we got going on, we're out here in Pahrump, Nevada. It's not that far away from Vegas or California, wherever you're at. Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
no.
Just delivered us.
Yep, there goes a chase vehicle, and it might be Travis.
Wow.
We might have had a wad up. Oh, we got a truck turning around coming back at us right now.
Wow.
So Travis Chase is coming back. He's going to let us know that somebody broke down. That's why he's coming back.
Wow, that's interesting. What a development here in qualifying.
It happens quick.
Travis Chase electing to abandon his run and hopefully come back here and get another one while they get Travis Williams.
Yep.
So this is going to be a very interesting
But like I said, Mark, sorry about that. This is when you want to have problems, not tomorrow.
Well, we've heard rumors of there's several G-outs on the course.
He's getting back into staging to plead his case. He's going to let somebody know about the wreck.
Well, now this is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out.
So they're going to give him a restart then?
Yeah, they'll give him another lap because there's no way he could have a fair lap with a truck.
No, not at all.
Truck over. So somebody got on the radio and told Travis Chase to come back.
I would love to be a fly on that wall to find, because that's our second flip. I'd like to know what's going on over there.
Exactly. And another thing that's more important to understand is Travis Williams came out here and he's brought Diamondback Construction with him. And
money.
Yeah, so
Pocket full of
hopefully he
money.
didn't hurt the truck too bad. Hopefully they get him back over and he'll be able to campaign for tomorrow's race. It's the first race of the year.
You say that, it's funny you say that, but these things are made to tear apart. That fiberglass is a body. It comes right back on. The tubing on this stuff, they can actually replace sections of these frames quickly. And this guy is, especially Travis, is a pro. You got to know he's got parts.
He's got parts.
He'll
man.
be up and running.
Travis definitely has parts. And another thing Travis has, we just got the key from Donald to keep rolling. And he did roll over, or maybe he told us that it was Travis he did roll.
So he rolled, and now the goal is to get him. Now, I just saw one of the chase crews go out there, so they're going to try to flip him over, get him back up and running, and then get his butt back into the pits to fix whatever might have happened.
Well, if Travis didn't damage the truck at all, he'll be able to tell, if it was a hard rollover or not.
Oh, he'll finish his lap.
Well, he'll finish his lap. So hopefully we see that gray and orange truck getting back out here.
Say again? Okay, now they say DNF.
Well, no, it's a DNF, but what I'm saying is you'll see him drive it in.
Yeah, he'll drive it in.
Is what I'm saying.
We're not going to trailer him, man.
Right. Yeah.
Tongue lash.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, jeez.
She'll get you.
Holy mackerel.
Hey, it's her job to make sure that we say the right things.
Well, I don't ever say the right things. So that's a lost cause.
Don't worry,
All right,
Phil.
so our chase. Oh, nope, there goes Travis's truck.
All right, they're going to shut Travis Chase down here while they get Travis Williams off the qualifying course. And I'm imagining right now that
there's our truck flipper over.
That you are seeing.
Holy mackerel, there he goes.
Imagine right now on your live track feed,
I
unless
would hope
we
she would
switch
slow
to
down so she doesn't break on the way over there.
Well, that's not good
we don't
either.
Talk about that anyway. So Chase is pulled back over to staging, and he is waiting to do his hot lap. He came back to confirm that somebody had wrecked, and he's just checking things out for us over there. We'll get you guys posted on what's going on.
And it looks like we're going to take it back to the studio.
Yeah, I think we're going to go on a commercial here, Mark. Let me get a confirmation of that, and we'll keep you guys posted. Right now, we are in Pahrump. This is round number 1, Legacy Racing Association. This is round number 1, and we are doing qualifying today. Oh, check this out, Mark. So they just told us there's a drone over the top of the accident scene. So you viewers are going to get to see what we can't. So it's got to be pretty wicked to view all this stuff.
Well, let's recap first.
I can see it right there.
First, you're going to make me stand up?
Stand up. Look right there, straight up.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. You can see all the cars. They did get out there very quickly. So first of all, let's recap. Let's make sure the number one thing that they're going to do out here at Legacy Racing to make sure that both occupants are okay. Right. And then they got to make sure that the truck's not over on its lid, leaking the fluids. And these trucks, they all have vents that are supposed to keep them from the majority of their fluids escaping. But sometimes transmission fluid is compromised, the system is compromised, and transmission fluid can be one of your worst enemies of a rollover.
It's funny you bring up that up. So now check this out. So now this is what another one of the difficulties of off-road racing is if you break down 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, you're 100 miles out away from the City Life garage. So
very rarely
now the chase crew comes into play, and they got to have the ability to repair, fix, tools, get people up and running, medical, which we do have always. So you got a lot of things working behind the scenes that people don't ever get to see. So it's really neat to see a machine work.
Well, and that indeed is what's on the list of making sure priority here. And then, as I said, his qualifying run is done. But the thing is, if they flip that truck back over, I know Travis will want to drive it back in. He'll drive it back in for that, exactly that, to make sure everything's okay. That's correct. So Travis is quite the competitor. He's been long time in the Arizona dirt bike scene, back from the days of Whiplash Racing and Zach McKinley.
The truck, the medical.
And Travis Williams is no stranger to any of these things, as far as crashing and like you said, making sure that he's got the logistics.
It's part of the sport. But I tell you what, these vehicles, you get inside them, these guys, that's another reason why I want you guys to come out and watch these racing. You get to look in the vehicles and stuff, the racing harnesses these have. These guys going a lot faster than most people would on the highway, and these guys getting way worse wrecks, and they usually walk away without a scratch. That's the safety equipment that's involved with these trucks, of not just building them, they have to pass tech inspections, everything to do all this stuff. Rear lights, front lights, belts, safety belts, frames.
Man, that's a long list to definitely go through.
Expensive
I mean,
list.
It's very expensive. Starts at the seat. The seat, actually, there are two types of seat. There's a rigid seat or there's a suspension seat, which is the more common one. But as you said, the
With a fat
harnesses.
wallet.
That's right. But as you said, the belts, the harness are 3 inches wide, and they have to be within 2 years old. If they are any older than 2 years, they actually are no longer qualified.
And that's because the abrupt stops that these people may make, you don't want to come apart and break half your body on them.
Exactly
But
right.
tell you what, I mean, I've got them in my XP4, the racing harness, and we've got them strapped in. I mean, it's sometimes nuisanceable because you can't move, but if you were to flip, that's why you'd have it so tight.
Well, there's also two opinions about the harnesses. I used to watch a video of Walker Evans back in the day, and he used to love his harness a little loose, so he'd actually bounce around in the seat, and he liked the loose harness. Not me. I like my harnesses so tight I actually interface with the vehicle. So I think for my knowledge is that you would want to be strapped in as tight as possible.
I think Walker Evans was old school enough to where nobody was going to tell him what to
No,
do anyway.
I have to agree with you. I'm glad you brought that into it.
I mean,
but,
you got these old school racers, they could care. I remember the old man Ellenberg, all these guys, they didn't care what. They're going to do it the way they want it.
Absolutely.
And that's just the way it is. But like I said, we've lost some NASCAR riders like Earnhardt for stubbornness and refusing to do the neck braces and stuff like that. And in the long run, that caught him when he wasn't looking. And that's bad thing to have happen.
Well, the Earnhardt incident for sure brought into play 100% the Hans device or the neck restraint.
Mandatory.
And we were going to go on that list that we were talking about restraints and everything. But, all right, you ready?
Hey, Mark, we're going to head this out and give him a commercial break. If you guys are watching that drone effect, have fun. We'll talk to you guys here momentarily. Once again, Legacy Racing Association.
The Pulse MXR by CST Tires. The Pulse MXR has even more adrenaline-pumping traction than the original Pulse is known to provide. The front tires have increased traction for better steering performance that provides predictable cornering and sliding characteristics. With the 2 available rear compounds, your ATV will be able to conquer tracks with hard or soft terrains. Buy now at shop.csttires.com.
Several years of working in off-road, we got asked by a sand drag group in 2008 to start following their entire racing series, and that's when we decided to start Motorsports Safety Solutions. So when we first started in 2008, we had 6 people who were pretty much dedicated to following the different races that we did. We're well over 60 active members right now that help. Sometimes they're there for 2 to 3 races throughout the year. Some of them are there almost every single weekend. Different expenses we come across, fuel is obviously a big one, hotel accommodations. If you're taking 40 people to a race to help people, there's 40 beds, you've got to find a place for people to sleep. So hotels, medical equipment, extrication gear. Our team has been extremely fortunate over the last several years to have great financial donors who have helped us step up. The off-road community has built this truck, they've built another one matching it. They've helped equip 6 other rescue trucks with everything from suspension to rescue tools, firefighting capabilities. We've got UTVs, we have motorcycles, we've got a trailer to cool people down and act as a first aid station. The off-road community is what has 100% made this possible for us to be as successful and have the great equipment that we have.
That's when you're fishing.
Back there are very uncomfortable working conditions. Oh, this is horrible. I like to take long walks on the beach naked.
Poor Travis. He won this race last year. Should have won Parker, but got held up by a trophy truck. And then just had mechanical problems all at the end of last year, and now this. Like, dude, just a string of bad luck.
That's a fluke right there because I just wonder if he came up on a slower.
Bill Iverson, I don't know if we're back live on the live track feed, but I'm going to keep talking because now getting ready to take his qualifying run, that is Travis Chase. It's going to be interesting to see Travis Williams. I hope everybody's okay there.
So we're back on, I guess, and you've got Legacy Crew, Medical, everybody down there taking care of him, and Chase just took off again. So now we got a red and white bad boy up here.
Todd Jurgensen is who we're looking at right here. He raced this race last year. Todd, a name very synonymous back through the earlier Pro Truck, if you remember the Pro Truck spec class. So now he's out here racing the Unlimited Truck spec class, the 6100 class.
Yeah, and his rear wheel's covered up more than any other truck out here today. I'm just curious about that style, if he's trying to deflect or protect, either one, you know, the rear wheel. See how it's shielding?
Yeah, the bodies definitely dictate a lot of different and odd designs. But as you said earlier, these guys kind of have a preference on the way they like to run things, and it definitely shows here with Todd's truck.
Yeah, so you got Connor McMullen coming up after Jurgensen. That's your guy, and that truck definitely looks stout.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see that that's Connor, because as I said, his colors are the green, the Dayglow green. So we should be able to see his Dayglow green fire suit behind the wheel of that truck. So it's going to be very interesting to talk with Connor McMullen and find out why he's running the 6173.
Right now we're looking at Jurgensen getting ready to start it off, get his hot lap going, get some qualifying times. Once again, Legacy Racing Association or legacyracing.net, find out about all our up-and-coming events. We're actually doing qualifying today out here in Pahrump. This is Friday. Yeah, do not adjust your calendar. It is Friday. I know it's a work day, and this is what we do for work. But tomorrow, Saturday, on your day off, come on out here to Pahrump and watch our racing. That was smooth as silk right there. All right, so here comes your boy right here. This is McMullen. Gonna read the board, give the thumbs up, and there you go. Now, once again, a lot for you people that don't understand that these vehicles do not have front windshields. So, I mean, that's why they got the full face helmets, they got the air conditioned suits, they got all that stuff to keep the elements out. And they don't have a windshield for safety reasons, but I got to tell you, when you're running around with that full face helmet, it's definitely got to be difficult having that dirt and stuff in your face.
Now, oddly enough, you can run a windshield, but they choose not to.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that'd be one more thing for me to break.
Right, and they do.
Put a rock through it and become splinters.
Boy, it does happen. All right, let's talk more about Connor McMullen. This young man started off the short course racer.
Why? Because you want him to win?
Not necessarily, but I know a lot about this young man, and
Right.
he got into desert racing in a Class 10 car. He started overalling in a Class 10 car, so then he got into a Class 1 unlimited car,
Right.
but he had a limited engine, a spec engine. They call that Class 6200. Now, Connor has been sought after, and I'm going to go online and on record right now and state Connor McMullen right now is the single hottest name in off-road desert racing to date right now. And it may sound like I'm just talking about him because I love him and I know him. No, if it was just my job right now to bring you to you that Connor McMullen, I mean, I'm telling you bigger than any of the names right now. Connor McMullen,
nice.
It can overall this race. It's going to be very interesting. Can he overall it in a 6100 truck?
That's going to definitely be pushing it to the limit because, like you said before, they're all running the exact same engines and everything else. So, yeah, that's where your driving ability comes into play, your vision, your peripheral, and everything else, and your youth.
Indeed. It's going to be interesting to see what the story is here. As I said, I've known Connor. His dad's probably around here somewhere, Kevin McMullen. And indeed, you saw the green suit. That is Connor McMullen.
Yeah, you could definitely see the green when he went by, and it looks like they are trying to clear up that mess over there with Williams out there in the midfield.
Well, I could do this, too, with Connor McMullen. I can give a big shout-out to his mom, Kim, because I know his mom, Kim's at home in Arizona watching this right now. She is Connor's biggest fan.
Okay, now we've got 6126, which is Nate Martino coming up next. Looks like an all-black or gray race truck over here, looking pretty sharp himself. And we are qualifying today here Friday in Pahrump, Nevada, at Legacy Racing Association. Be sure to found us, legacyracing.net. So right now we've got still a whole line of trucks out here all chasing that money. And I tell you what, throw the money in the pot that people will show up to your event. That's a fact.
Money has a way of doing that.
Sure does.
And this expensive off-road racing habit that we all have.
Spend $1 million to win 10. Okay. So this guy that I just told you about, which was Martino, he's got MG on the side of his truck. And you know what that means? Money gone. So like we were talking about how you spend all your money on it, it's money gone. That's what he says. Martino says money gone.
Well, you know, the unlimited class, and especially the 6100 class, the unlimited class, the one class, you really do it because you love the sport. And, you know, this is basically just guys that can afford this and really about bragging rights. The guys that can really take advantage of winning money are the stock classes, the more limited classes. You know, you get money in a class like that. You mentioned earlier the Class 11 coming out here, the stock bugs. You know, they put a big one up at another race. You were talking about Laughlin, and, man, there were 30-some-odd 11 cars there, and they were battling it out for a big $10,000 payoff. So there you go. The MG of the number 26 car, Nate Martino.
Definitely hooking up, I'll tell you what. And Martino just went by us at the start. He's going to be coming up to that first turn after a bit, and you folks watching will be able to see him. Looks like Josh Shelton, 6129, pulling up next. He is in the staging right now, getting ready to go. And we still have quite a few trucks lined up, you guys. And it's amazing. There's not a bad seat in the house. Come on down, spend your day with us today. If not, come out tomorrow. We're out in Pahrump, Nevada. Check out everything you need to know about us at legacyracing.net. Right now we are qualifying. We've been here since early this morning. It was a chilly morning, but it has definitely warmed up to be a nice day. Glad for the peel-off clothing.
Yeah, I actually saw that you actually already got out of your hoodie, and I'm thinking about doing the same.
Yeah, I was dying. I had this. Tell you what, it might be a little bit of a breeze, but you definitely want to get out of the hot clothes.
Yeah, I think I'm getting out of the hoodie.
Once again, we're qualifying, and we just had Martino go by. Now we've got Josh Shelton. After that's going to be Trevor Harvey, 6157. We are doing class 6100s right now. And I'm telling you what, I'm looking across the desert right now watching the truck, which I believe is Martino, and he is on the gas. Just a dust trail coming up behind him. Now, I know that these are all the same engines and stuff, but I tell you what, some sound just a lot more aggressive. And these guys definitely have some beautiful trucks out here. And they all got their personalities with the colors and the shapes and all the lights and all the crazy stuff. But we even got American flags on some of these trucks out here, too. That's pretty awesome. Because this is a pretty great country we have out here.
Pretty fond of it. So as you guys right now are watching Nate Martino, you might even be watching Connor McMullen come into the finish line here. Like I said, I definitely am going to go with our fastest qualifier being Connor McMullen. But you're going to watch Josh Shelton right now rip off the line here. And you'll see him here shortly in turn 1, as you can see some of the trucks in the background.
And we got Diggett coming up there now. It's Trevor Harvey, 6157. He's got Diggett on the front of that.
Well, I just took my hoodie off, and it's still a little brisk, actually.
I'll take the cold over the heat.
No, I'm the opposite. I'm a warm-blooded man. I'll take the heat over the cold any day. I do not like being cold.
No, I didn't like being cold, but at least I had my, with that flight suit jacket. That
Gotcha.
was nice and warm.
So you're saying take the cold because you can wrap up and warm. Gotcha. Yeah, I can't.
Can always tear off.
I can't do the cold. Homie don't like it. What does it mean? Homie don't play that?
Yeah.
Homie don't play that? Something like that?
Homie to clown.
Homie
Right
to
now
clown.
we got the 6100. What do we got coming up next after 6100s?
So that's going to do it for qualifying today. It's just the unlimited trucks, the Turbo UTV, and 6100 class, and that's going to do it. They're the only classes that qualify, and as we said, they are qualifying for that coveted starting position.
Which is pretty important when you got dust in your eyes and you're trying to get ahead of the crowd.
Yeah, definitely a lot of strategy there. As I said earlier, a lot of racers like to start with the clean air. But in a 6100 class, you're just the clean air of the class. You know what I mean? The 6100 class starts after the unlimited class. So they still have the unlimited trucks to try to chase down, and they can actually get into the
Yeah, they should be able to. There we go. I hear the drone. Is that what I heard?
Yes, sir. It's right over there.
Did it just land?
Nope, sitting right there in the air.
Oh, there it is. All right. So I'm looking at the drone over here. He's out scoping everything out. That's pretty cool.
Drones have definitely changed the way aerial photography is done.
They have.
And incredible to see what
That
they do.
is amazing. There he goes.
My money's on the drone. The drone's racing the truck.
Yeah, the drone's chasing the truck. That's a new one. Even the helicopter pilots have gotten small. I guess with fuel costs, they had to shrink it down.
Well, what's crazy, the pilot of that drone is sitting right there in front of your truck.
Is he?
Yeah, and they're actually looking on their phone. They don't actually have to have a controller anymore. These drones, a lot of autonomous commands in there. A lot of things done through programming now.
Well, that's pretty amazing, right
they
there.
They are pretty amazing.
So he is working it. That's what he's got in his hand right there.
Yeah.
Huh. So he's got. I wonder if he's got vision. Yeah, he's got that visionary. He's got the eyes.
Yep. Forward looking.
That's awesome.
Yep. All right, here we are back to qualifying. The 61:30. Where do we get there? Trevor Harvey. Is that right, or did I? No, this is Mike Osborne. 61:31. Wait.
No, it should be Trevor Harvey, guys.
Well. Looking on the A pillar, right, 61:31. So Mike Osborne. Yeah, we lost Trevor Harvey or Kevin Curtis.
Huh. Got that 6186 coming up after him.
And that's Reed
Dodenbear. Dodenbear, and then you've got Justin Bean, and then Alan Levinson.
Yeah, I didn't see Alan make the curtain call on the practice lap, so I don't think Alan made the curtain call. And I do believe that Bean is going to be our last qualifier.
Wow.
And that's going to take us back to contingency back at the hotel, back in the parking lot of the Nugget. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to have a lot of I'm going to look at my producer and say, are we going to do interviews at contingency? Okay, very good. So we'll just do some pre-recorded things that we're going to do at contingency. But I'm definitely going to be walking around contingency. Back to it, 61:31. That was for sure Mike Osborne. And you're right, his engine a little throatier, a little healthier, isn't it?
Dang, that sounded burly to me.
Somebody might have to check that engine after this race. Look at the dust he left. Boy, he just dusted us out.
6186.
Yeah, this family I ran into here last year. And, I mean, you heard me joke around about it, 6 generations, man. I just ran into that family in the parking lot. Man, there had to have been easily 4 generations there. That was just definitely a family affair. I had to ask him, how do you say your name? And if I remember correctly, because I'm probably going to ask him, it's Dodenbeer. So I hope that's the way we say it. And if we butcher it, I definitely apologize. But if I run into a Doden Bear again, I'll make sure that we're saying it right. We're probably we always say it as it's written, so it's hard to get it right unless you say it over and over and over.
Well, we got turbo UTVs this weekend. We've got unlimited UTV.
Very good. Man, I do love the production value out here at Legacy Racing Association. They definitely take care of us. Run an awesome live stream here. The live stream, by the way, brought to you by Hurling Racing. Jerry Hurling and Joe Hurling. Didn't get to see him out here in the 6100 class, but Hurling Racing making sure that we have the live track feed. All right, and Phil, I was saying that I didn't see the Alan Levinson truck in the lineup, but I do believe that truck right there is it. So we'll see it as you see Justin Bean Smith right now. Justin Smith, a longtime off-road racer, and he, just like Connor McMullen and Travis Williams, of which we haven't got an update on Travis Williams. As soon as we do, I will let you know. But this young man, Justin Smith right here, he has the ability to put this truck on top of the podium as well.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Also, which we're not seeing out here today, is going to be like the turbo UTVs and the unlimited. And Class 11, Class 7, we won't see them race until tomorrow, right?
That's correct. Qualifying in that is just kind of pointless. You know, they're limited class, so, you know, theoretically the class is supposed to be limited by certain restrictions that you can't make the car do or can't do. So no need to qualify in there. You just get to start and off you go. Now, they did pre-run yesterday, so a few of the cars that decided to come out here, they were able to pre-run some of the course, if not the whole course.
Right.
I wasn't out here yesterday, but who knows? They probably pre-ran the entire course.
I know I would have if I got a chance.
Yeah, that's another thing. Strategy plays into it. You get a pre-look at the course, so you know if it's rocky, dusty, technical, so on and so forth. So
well, it's out here. It's going to be dusty as all heck because this doesn't see much rain out here in the middle of the desert, and it is definitely dusty. And that's one truck at a time. Wait till you get everybody out in the field. That is going to be insane on the membrane right there.
Well, as you said, too, the desert just keeps getting bigger and bigger out here.
Bigger and bigger. You make sure they don't hit some of those old mob bodies out here.
Now, Bean, as we love to call him, man, he's definitely, as you heard, he's a different style. He is on the gas. He hasn't lifted yet.
Yeah, we've got Alan Levinson coming up now. And that's going to be your 6154. Looks like it's going to be our final qualifier for today. So you guys that are out here watching this right now on our live feed, you're actually not seeing what we're talking about yet. Bean's going to be coming up on you guys here momentarily when he gets up to the first turn. And like I said, by the dust you can see, it is insane. These guys are going to be going that fast following each other, a lot closer than what they are today. Tomorrow is when the racing really begins.
Well, as we wind down here, I want to talk about some of the sponsors. Hattie's Shell, the official mile marker out here. Hattie's Shell, located out here in Nevada. SNS Off-Road Magazine, making things happen out here for Legacy. These are our partners. I love to say Beck's sunglasses, like the ones that I have on right now. They make me look so good standing next to you. Phil Iverson, UTV Sports, the official publications, and Turn 2 TV. Also, the Sea Devil official balloon lighting. If you guys haven't seen this, I'm probably going to push them all day. But we got some more sponsors right after this qualifying run. You're watching qualifying from the 2022 Four-Wheel Parts Desert Showdown.
Alan Levinson coming up right now, 6154. He's got a shark-like looking body on that thing, and he is getting ready to go. That thing is definitely mean looking.
This is definitely that body that I've been talking about.
Yep.
Remember, as you saw a couple of them running this body. You look at this body; it's just a different aerodynamics, just a different beast. It actually looks like more like a sports car with fenders. Yeah.
Like a car.
So very interesting, and that's all the rules that make an unlimited truck, or what other racing organizations call a trophy truck, is the fact that this could be an unlimited chassis, but it's got to have fenders.
This one was an ear rattler, boy, when he went by that time. Almost sounded like a manual shifter, too, but it's not.
Well, they're not manual as far as a clutch, but they are manual valve bodies. So they have to shift they actually have to move the selector to shift. So these are automatic transmissions, but they actually most of these trucks run a gate shifter, and some of them actually run the Albin's sequential transmission, which you just bang it just like a dirt bike. So
those B&M shifters of the old schools. Tell you what, right now we flipped the camera around. We're looking out in the field where everybody's racing, and I tell you what, it is a dusty trail out here. So you guys that are watching this live feed right now, you're going to have these trucks coming at you. Should be your last truck. This is going to come around. It's going to be Alan Levinson, racer number 6154, and he's coming out to you right now. And this guy, you can hear him from here right now. This guy's definitely loud.
Okay, now this isn't a good sign. I'm just going to bring you an observational update. Yep. This is Travis Williams' trailer heading out to the track to pick up his truck. So, yeah, if you look out there, you can see that the crew is still out there with Travis Williams, so this is going to be interesting to see how this shapes up. And they're just waiting right now for the last truck to be done on the course, and we'll update you with Travis Williams as we go on. But, Phil, I do believe as they're watching this, we can slide on in here.
We're going to talk with Donald over here. He's going to fill us up to date on what happened out here in the infield and how these trucks are performing and what happened to Travis Williams, I believe. All right, Donald, coming out here. This is Mr. Legacy himself when his wife's not around. So tell us about what happened out there with Williams.
Well, first, not just Mr. Legacy. There's a crew with us. So, you guys are doing a great job, and Liz and Christy do a great job too, and the entire Legacy family. But yeah, we had a few rollovers today, and I know we had to take a break there for a little bit. Just want to update everybody, make sure there's no rumors going around. Both drivers. From the horse's mouth. Yeah, exactly. In the limiteds, we had a Class 1 rollover, and he's fine, just damage. And then same with in the 6100s, we had another rollover there, and those drivers as well, fine as well. But the terrain, these vehicles are amazing, what they built and what they can handle. But sometimes, desert racing, and the terrain reaches up and bites them. So, again, drivers are fine. Vehicles have some damage, and hopefully they get them repaired for tomorrow. But I think
knowing Williams, he's got the backup parts.
Yeah, he's got backup parts. He might have a spare truck and stuff. But going into race day tomorrow is going to be, like I said last year, I don't know if you guys recall, but I said I think the terrain's going to dictate, and I think flat tires are going to see who wins or loses this race next year or this year, just like last year's. It's going to be the terrain that dictates it. Got some great drivers, great equipment, but ultimately, the tires got to hold up to the ground.
What you're letting them qualify on is not what they're going to be racing on. So how different is what qualifying today is? How different is the race tomorrow going to be?
Well, it's similar. We're out here in the open terrain desert, so it's a lot of the same stuff.
Right.
But definitely there's parts of this course that are a lot rockier and a little more extreme, let's call it, than what they're qualifying. Yeah, exactly. Today we had some fast straightaways and some good sand washes, and a good mix of that tomorrow as well. But then you throw in some silt beds and rock gardens.
I love the gotchas.
Gotchas, the big dangers, G-outs and stuff. So it should be making for good.
All right, Donald, let's talk about more that's happening here for 2022. I mean, we've got a lot of new events coming in here for 2022 on the schedule, so it's got to be very exciting for the Legacy crew to be more events than last year.
Oh, absolutely. We were able to throw in a few more events, just like you said. The bike race will be our next event down there in Laughlin, the Metro Pit Hare Scrambles, so we're excited for that one. That's old school Laughlin, single track.
Love it.
Yeah, it's tough terrain down there, and it's a great track. And then Baja, Nevada, we changed up this year. We decided to go with a one-day event, so 650 miles.
Wow.
It's going to be huge. 650 miles one day is a lot of terrain to cover, but it's going to make it super exciting. And, and I can't thank Hurling Racing enough for helping with the live feed here, making this possible so we can do this. And all of our sponsors, Liquid Molly is a huge sponsor with us, and ATC, and all the companies involved. So we really appreciate them being here. And again, the Legacy team, Legacy staff, this isn't possible without them and all the racers and fans at home watching. And Mark, Phil, you guys are doing phenomenal, so I appreciate you guys' support.
Well, all right, on that.
That was Donald right there, and I tell you what, that's Mr. Legacy himself telling you what's coming at you guys next. Make sure you find out about what's happening with us at legacyracing.net. And we're actually going to head down to Tech, I believe, right? And we're going to talk with some of the racers out here and find out what they thought about today, Mark.
We'll be headed to contingency, and that's going to be a wrap right here at qualifying rounds. And once again, we got to thank Hurling Racing for making all of this happen.
This work, you guys.
Indeed.
Without them, it wouldn't be this smooth. So thank you guys very much, and we'll see you guys soon. See you shortly.
See you shortly.
Racing's racing. Sometimes you finish, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. It is what it is.
But hey, you made the finish line.
Heck yeah, that's all that matters, man. Thank you.